YouTube, it's your boy Finesse Face, and I'm back at it again with another YouTube tutorial. I want to start off by saying Happy New Year to you guys, and we are about to get this year kicked off. We got a lot of great things in store, but without further ado, let's get started. Alright, the first step we're going to do is create our ball line with our Oster Octanes and the 5-0 blade. We're going to scoop out at the top so we can create a soft guideline that'll be easy for us to take out at the end. And then we're going to switch the blade on the Oster Octanes to the 1.5. We're going to cut it down to the waves. I like using the Oster Octanes because they're a very powerful clipper and they get close to a true hair length. As you're cutting the hair down, make sure you pay attention to the pattern of the hair growth so you won't gap it or patch the hair when you're cutting it down, because it's very easy to do it, especially with these Octanes. Then I'm going to go in with my masters all the way open, creating that second guideline. I'm creating that guideline pretty wide so I can stretch this fade out. And make sure you have clean and thorough guidelines so that when you do take them out, it'll make the transition of the fade so much easier. The next thing I'm going to do is switch my clipper to the wall cordless seniors, and I have my one guard on there creating my next guideline, and I'm making it the same width as I did my first guideline. And in this next step, I take my one on my seniors open and I go with the grain to smooth down the hair and remove the bulk at the same time. Then immediately after, I close the lever on the one and I thin out that top guideline by going with the grain. Now, right after debulking, you can see I flipped my clipper upside down with the one open, using the corners and using the angle to go ahead and take out that top guideline. This is a technique that I like to use on certain haircuts because it helps me speed up my time on my fades, and it keeps me from having to keep turning back and grabbing different guards at my station. As you can see, as I'm cutting, it may look like I'm using the full blade, but I can guarantee you I'm just using the corner so I can hit these dark spots. And just to make the fade as smooth as possible, I am continually going with the grain so I can make sure that the hair is laying down how I want it to.
This is fire.
Now, I'm going to finish up the fade by using my cordless masters, and I'm going to go notch by notch until I blend out both guidelines. The comb is long enough for me to take out that second guideline without having to go and get a half guard or a zero guard. And remember, when you're fading out these guidelines, make sure that you are using the corner of the clipper because it helps you be very detailed in your fades. second side, I already have my guidelines set up. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do the other. Usually when I'm cutting hair, I like to make my guidelines all the way around the head so I can make sure that I have even guidelines, which is going to lead me to a nice, clean, balanced fade. This time I didn't record me connecting the back to both sides, but you want to make sure that you focus on the back corner area because that's the most difficult part in connecting the back to the sides. Alright, to start the finishing details on the haircut, I'm going to start by putting some foam wrap lotion in the hair. This is going to lay the hair down and it's also going to help me get a nice sharp and clean line. His hair is very thick and curly, so I use my masters to glide over the hairline to knock some of those curls down so I can get a nice sharp lineup. Whenever I do my lineups, I usually like to start by setting up the vertical bars first. What this does is it helps me figure out where my corners are so that when I'm connecting the middle to the sides, I don't push too deep into the corners, if that makes sense to you. Now, starting my lineup, I start in the middle of his head and I take it all the way to the corner of his lineup, meeting the vertical bar. Now, to get a sharp lineup, you don't want to just hit the line once. You want to go over your work a couple of times to make sure that you got the details right. Comb the hair out, comb the hair down so you can get the small hairs. I do the same exact thing to the other side. I start in the middle and I connect it all the way to the vertical bar on the left. Now, as you can see, the lineup is already crispy. The haircut is clean, but to make it pop, we're gonna add some color enhancement to it. Make sure that when you spray in color enhancement, you stay a safe distance away. You don't want to spray too much, and you don't want to spray it too dark, otherwise the haircut won't look natural. Now to make this lineup pop even more, we're going to hit it with the razor. Make sure that you're pulling the skin firmly away from where you're razoring. Even when I'm doing the backstroke, as you can see right here, I'm pulling away so that blade can glide easily on the skin. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you do a clean bald fade. Leave a comment down below, let me know what you think about the video, and let me know what you guys want to see more from me. Also, subscribe and share the video to anybody who is thinking about cutting hair or wants to learn how to cut. And with that being said, it's your boy Finesse Fades, and I am out of here. See ya.